in the island as well.
And indeed, Jonkanu capped off a successful conch festival. So make your way to the family islands to experience real island living. And members of the Conch Fest committee want you to make your way to South Andros to enjoy Conch Fest.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Every day, we focus our eyes on the world around us. But what kind of world would we see if we sharpened our focus onto things lying beyond our capacity to see them? The physicist Maximilian Haider wanted to get to the bottom of that question. What is seeing? I can see a house, a ball, or an object. But I can't really see an atom. But he changed that. Haider solved a 60-year-old research problem. And at the end of the 1990s, in his adopted hometown of Heidelberg, he made scientific history. He followed in the footsteps of tradition because it was another Heidelberger, Ernst Ruska, in the 1930s, who built the first ever electron microscope. Accelerated electron beams hurtle towards the object. With the aid of electromagnetic fields, the beams are focused. This new technology enabled researchers for the first time to detect viruses so small that 20,000 of them, placed side by side, would be just 1 millimeter wide. The view into the nano world had been opened up, but remained hazy because in the years that followed, objects could never be captured in sharp focus, a dilemma that no researcher could resolve. Not during the early 1950s, when Maximilian Haider was born and raised in Austria. Nor in the late 1950s, when little Max attended school there. Nor in the 1960s, when he left junior high school and started training as an optician. But he was far more interested in lenses than in glasses. He set his sights high, taking a special physics study course without a high school diploma, and that brought him into contact with the problem of focusing for the first time. Of course, that was an incentive to really solve the problem once and for all. I was convinced it could be done. And if something's feasible, then you have to do it. Back in the 70s and early 80s, people felt that it wouldn't work, that it would never work. Maximilian Haider is an experimental physicist, and in 1992 he began researching with his group at Heidelberg's EMBL, the European Molecular Biology Laboratory. Also on board in the project group was fellow German colleague Joachim Zach, with whom he founded his company SIOS 4 years later. 5 years went by. While the research world continued to doubt that the venture would succeed, Maximilian Haider always believed that it would. But in the summer of 1997, the deadline was approaching, the project was coming to an end, and the objective had not yet been reached.
Das war dann noch eine dramatische Zeit, weil
That was a dramatic time, because back in 1996 we actually managed to show that we could correct aberration.
das Mikroskop
The microscope wasn't stable though, so the images weren't either. They wobbled,
nicht wirklich.
and we couldn't really show the resolution.
Und das war wirklich
Yes, those were very dramatic
eine
days.
sehr dramatische Zeit.
The project group managed to locate the error in the area of the intermediate lens. A special lens was designed and built for the system to compensate for the error. But this final effort was still not rewarded with success.
Wir haben alle Schritte
We
gemacht.
carried out all the steps. In early June, we installed it. Then we switched the beam back on. And what happened? It was still unstable.
Es war weiter instabil.
I got really depressed at that point because I thought it was all over and nothing was going to work anymore.
Nach einem
Then,
Tag
one day later, it had stabilized. The lens was stable. I was just totally relieved. And then we were able to render individual atoms as an image with real clarity. Everything that had appeared double exposed suddenly became sharp. And it wasn't a hair, it was a carbon nanotube that was 100,000 times smaller. The innovation became the world's first correction system for electron microscopes, and Haider had it patented through his company. This also laid the foundations for many subsequent improvements. In 2008, his invention hit the headlines. The potential was immense. Researchers were now able to go into more and more detail with the correctors, recognizing individual atomic layers or measuring molecular structures. Maximilian Haider and Joachim Zach produced the correctors in their company CIOS. 90% of all transmission electron microscopes worldwide are equipped with their patented correctors. These more powerful microscopes help engineers to fit more and more data into less and less space. The invention is especially beneficial for materials science, whether computer chips, batteries, data storage devices, e-mobility, or semiconductor production. Haider, together with his colleagues, has received prestigious awards for his invention. Joint ventures with research institutes have now resulted in world record resolutions, such as this one at the University of Ulm.
Diese Aufnahme ist für mich auch ein eigener.
For me too, this image is a new milestone in my development. You can see atoms jumping around and migrating, and not in single images, but actually like in a film recording. And that's always fascinating.
Kann man das sehen und es ist wirklich immer faszinierend.
Maximilian Haider focuses on what fascinates him, whether it's new projects as the senior consultant of his company or in his adopted hometown. In his research, nothing escapes his sharp eyes.
Er könnte eines Tages an Krebs erkranken. So wie jährlich 18 Millionen Menschen weltweit, bei denen Krebs diagnostiziert wird. Gäbe es einen Weg, die Krankheit früh genug aufzuspüren und zu behandeln, viele Leben wären unbeschwerter und sicherer.
Als junge Ärztin hat mich ein Erlebnis tief beeindruckt. Einer meiner Patienten starb innerhalb weniger Monate an Bauchspeicheldrüsenkrebs. Und ich konnte nichts machen. Ich war nah dran, die Medizin für immer aufzugeben. Aber dann habe ich gesagt, nein. Ich will dafür kämpfen, Krebs zu besiegen. Und das wurde zu meiner Lebensaufgabe.
Heute glaubt Patrizia Bartolini-Bresciot, ihrem Ziel einen Schritt näher gekommen zu sein. Die Ärztin und Molekularbiologin ist überzeugt, der Schlüssel findet sich im Blut eines jeden Menschen. Denn schon Jahre bevor Krebs sich sichtbar im Körper ausbreitet, finden sich im Blut Hinweise. Einzelne Tumorzellen, sogenannte zirkulierende Tumorzellen. Und wenn der Krebs größer wird, schickt er weitere Zellen in die Blutbahn. Die können dann Metastasen in anderen Organen bilden. Es könnte also entscheidend sein, diese heimliche Gefahr im Blut von Menschen aufzuspüren. Dann gäbe es die Chance, invasiven Krebs frühzeitig zu erkennen und Metastasen zu verhindern. Doch das Problem ist, die Saatkörner des Krebses sind extrem selten. Wie also soll man sie finden? Patellini-Bréchot hat eine Idee. Zirkulierende Tumorzellen sind verhältnismäßig groß. Größer als die meisten anderen Zellen im Blut. Man müsste die Tumorzellen doch einfach wie mit einem Sieb aussortieren können, das Blut also durch einen Filter schicken. Aber genau das scheint zunächst schier unmöglich.
Das Filtrieren von Blut ist sehr schwierig, denn Blut ist von Mensch zu Mensch unterschiedlich. Es verklumpt sehr schnell und es sind sehr viele Zellen darin. In 10 Millilitern allein haben wir 100 Millionen weiße Blutkörperchen und 50 Milliarden rote Blutkörperchen. Wenn man eine einzelne Zelle finden möchte, dann ist das so, wie wenn man einen Menschen in der Bevölkerung von 7 Erden sucht.
Patellini-Bréchot aber glaubt, dass es ihr gelingen kann, Tumorzellen aus dem Blut zu filtern. 700 verschiedene Versuche unternimmt sie mit ihrem Team. Sie lösen die roten Blutzellen zum Großteil auf, verdünnen das Blut und verhindern mit speziellen Substanzen, dass es gerinnt. Durch diese Behandlung wird das Blut schließlich filtrierbar. Als Sieb verwenden sie eine hauchdünne Folie mit nur wenigen Tausendstel Millimeter großen Poren. Die gebürtige Italienerin konstruiert auch ein Gerät, um das Blut kontrolliert zu filtrieren. Und sie erhält für das Verfahren Patente. Sie nennt es ISET, kurz für die Isolation von Krebszellen nach ihrer Größe. Der Unterdruck, mit dem das Blut durch den Filter gesaugt wird, die Menge der Blutprobe, die Anzahl der Filterporen, alles in dem Verfahren muss exakt aufeinander abgestimmt sein. Aber wie finden die Forscher heraus, unter welchen Bedingungen es wirklich funktioniert?
Uns war klar, wir mussten erst einen Test entwickeln. Einen Test, der die Wirksamkeit unserer Methode auf die Probe stellt.
Die Forscher markieren dazu Tumorzellen mit einem fluoreszierenden Farbstoff. Eine einzige von diesen Tumorzellen tropfen sie dann in 10 Milliliter Blut. Dieses Blut bereiten sie mit dem ISET-Verfahren auf und filtrieren es. Erst klappt gar nichts. Doch dann spürt der ISET-Test diese eine fluoreszierende Tumorzelle tatsächlich auf.
Wir hatten so viele Methoden ausprobiert und die Zelle nicht gefunden. Doch eines Tages hatten wir die richtigen Bedingungen. Und dann fanden wir sie. Und dann gab's Champagner. Wir machten ein Foto und das wurde dann auch in der ersten wissenschaftlichen Publikation über ISET gezeigt.
Der große Traum von Patricia Patellini-Bréchot ist es, dass jeder in Zukunft den ISET-Test in Anspruch nehmen kann. Als Routinecheck beim Hausarzt. Einfach Blutprobe abgeben und in wenigen Tagen erfahren, ob alles in Ordnung ist oder ob gehandelt werden muss, bevor es vielleicht zu spät ist. Sind die zirkulierenden Tumorzellen isoliert, lässt sich feststellen, welcher Krebs im Körper steckt und bald auch in welchem Organ. Mit ihrem Unternehmen Rare Cells Diagnostics und den Patenten kann Patricia Patellini-Bréchot Investoren, Partner und Sponsoren finden, um die Methode weiterzuentwickeln und klinische Studien zu machen. Denn der Kampf der Forscherin geht weiter.
Am Ende, glaube ich, war es gut, dass ich in die Forschung gegangen bin. So kann ich vielen Menschen gleichzeitig helfen, ihr Leben verbessern und verlängern. Wäre ich Ärztin geblieben, hätte ich immer nur einem Patienten nach dem anderen helfen können. Und nicht allen.
A murder scene. Investigators discover huge amounts of blood everywhere. The blood of the victim, but possibly of the criminal as well. From tiny traces, today's investigators can quickly identify a potential culprit beyond any doubt. It's only possible when DNA evidence in the test tube is amplified billions of times over. The essential feature for DNA amplification is an enzyme that can be found in all cells, including our own. The DNA polymerase. It's a diligent copying machine. Every time a cell divides, the DNA polymerase creates an exact replica just beforehand of the complete genetic material. That is, the DNA. The original and the copy then divide, one to one, into new daughter cells. And this principle can also be employed in a test tube. To read the DNA, the mixture is first heated and then cooled down again, 30 times over. During this process, the tiny amounts of DNA are amplified billions of times. It's a real chain reaction, and that's how it got its name, the polymerase chain reaction, or PCR for short. It forms the basis for research into genetic diseases, ancestry, or even forensics. But PCR also has its weak points.
La PCR podríamos compararla con la...
You can compare the polymerase chain reaction with an old photocopier, because lots and lots of single steps are needed before the complete DNA ends up being amplified.
La amplificación del DNA.
What the pioneering researcher Margarita Salas is saying is that if we compare PCR with copying technology, it's a bit like an old photocopier from the 1970s. Instead of making copies of all the genetic material, it can only produce copies of one single page. And even within that page, the text starts getting harder to read. After about 1,000 letters, it's virtually illegible. Margarita Salas, now 80 years old, changed genetic research forever. Here at the Centro de Biología Molecular Severo Ochoa in Madrid, she's been researching and teaching for over 50 years. It's no coincidence that her institute is named after a Spanish Nobel Prize winner.
I got to know Severo Ochoa when I finished my third year studying chemistry. At that time, I heard one of his lectures and I was fascinated. That was even before I studied biochemistry. He promised that once he returned to New York, he would send me a biochemistry book. And that's just what happened. He sent me this book here, General Biochemistry, with his own personal dedication to me.
With this book, Severo Ochoa ignited Margarita Salas's passion for biochemistry. Ochoa would go on to win a Nobel Prize shortly afterwards. In 1964, Salas also promptly followed her mentor to the United States. It was an exciting time, because just 10 years earlier, the structure of DNA had been discovered. Suddenly, everything seemed possible, including unlocking the secret of life itself. In 1967, Margarita Salas brought genetics back home. In Madrid, she and her husband established the first professorship of genetics in Spain.
Volver de Nueva York a Madrid suponía, volver a una especie de desierto.
When we returned from New York to Madrid, it was like coming back to a kind of scientific no man's land. Molecular biology hadn't established itself in Spain at all. We wanted to change all that and teach the subject there. That was when we decided to investigate the bacteriophage Phi-29, a bacterial virus, because it was small and hadn't really been researched at all.
Salas devoted all her energy to researching the bacteriophage Phi-29. The virus is harmless to humans. Over decades, Salas gradually uncovered the secrets of the virus, not only of its molecular structure, but also its genetic background. And Salas suddenly found herself fascinated by one of its 20 genes, because she realized that the virus had its own DNA polymerase. That placed it in a class of its own.
Y estudiamos la DNA polimerasa.
We examined the properties of the DNA polymerase and discovered that we were dealing with an extremely efficient enzyme. That is, it starts synthesizing at one point of the DNA and carries on doing so to the very end without interruption. That was when we suddenly realized that the properties were extremely suitable for use in biotechnology.
En biotecnología.
Going back to the metaphor of the photocopying machine for a moment, a geneticist's everyday life suddenly looked very different from before. DNA amplification was far more efficient now, thanks to the copier known as Phi-29 Polymerase Deluxe. This one was finally able to copy not just one page, but 15 of them, all at once, without any problem. There were also far fewer copying errors. And Salas's polymerase also functioned at a comfortable temperature of 30 degrees Celsius. Unlike the usual DNA amplification technique, where the test tube containing the polymerase had to be heated and cooled many times over. Salas immediately filed a patent application for her technique.
La DNA polimerasa F29.
The Phi-29 DNA polymerase also turned out to be extremely profitable in economic terms. As the holder of the patent, the Spanish National Research Council generated royalties of 6.6 million euros
6,6 millones de euros
for as long as the patent was in force.
durante la época en que la patente estuvo activa.
All the income from Salas's patents goes to the Spanish National Research Council and also flows into her work, because today she is still passing her knowledge on to the next generation of researchers. They're all working together with her on a future that began a whole 50 years ago, when a biochemistry textbook just happened to end up in the right hands.
Health officials announced early on that the curve of the fourth wave has been flat.
Standby, Talon.
2 and cue.
We have a dynamic team of diverse, enthusiastic journalists committed to uncovering the truth and delivering it with zeal and integrity.
Confirms that the victim's body was found by an individual who was involved in the search.
We tell the heartwarming tales of resilience and success, from local politics to cultural events. We have it covered. We have Azure coming live from Bimini tonight for our top story. We are your trusted source in the North. We are ZNS Northern Edition.
There's a spark of greatness in each of us. That spark is called personality. Individual gifts and talents provide the fuel to set that spark ablaze. Each child has the right to an education which values their personality and nurtures their talents, while teaching them to be respectful to their parents and their cultures.
Join the ZNS Network for primetime coverage of the Progressive Liberal Party's 55th National Convention, Thursday, November 9th and Friday, November 10th at 8 p.m. Tune in to hear the PLP's message for the Bahamian people. That's Thursday, November 9th and Friday, November 10th at 8 p.m. The Progressive Liberal Party's 55th National Convention on ZNS.
Tune in to the program, Living by Faith with Bishop Valentino Williams of Life Changes Ministries International. Sundays at 5:30 p.m. on ZNS TV station. Prepare to be inspired, impacted, empowered, and transformed. Remember, the just shall live by faith.
This prophet here is not for sale. This prophet here come to declare what thus saith the Lord.
one of the things that the church must be aware of, that this is no time and season for us to get so deep and holy that we can't hail folk who hurting next to us. We can't hail the people in our neighborhood. We can't see how hungry they are. We can't get too deep, brothers and sisters, and so anointed that we forget that if someone hurt you, you gotta forgive them.
Sundays at 8:30 a.m. on ZNS TV 13.
It's Premiere Week at ZNS. You asked for new local programs, and we heard your call. So here's the lineup starting this fall. Catch Legends, The Untold Story on Mondays at 9 a.m. Also on Mondays starting at 8 p.m., watch the making of your favorite meal on Dishing It Up. The decisions are final, and the cases are real. The ever so popular Justice with Judge Carol slides in at 2 p.m. on Tuesdays. You don't want to miss that. Later on Legal Tuesdays, there's the Legal Brief, where legal advice is given out by the country's top attorneys. Moving down to Thursdays at 9 a.m., The Drop, a video show with the best of the best local music artists. And on that trend, arts and entertainment will kick off your weekends on Fridays at 8 p.m. with Everything Entertainment. Time Out, 4 p.m. on Sundays have never had it so good. Finally, a sports show to tune into. And wrapping things up on Sundays at 6 p.m. is Rhythm of Fate, a gospel video show to touch your spirit. Make sure to tune in this fall for a new experience in local programming only on ZNS.
At the Eco Camp, there were a variety of indoor activities. These activities were hands-on, they were entertaining, and they were fun. They helped to bring home some of the ideas that the kids were learning in the field.
I learned about different corals, different fishes, different places in the forest, different bushes, and it was really fun.
I learned a lot of plants, which I didn't know before, and how you can use them, and a lot of how you can help the environment, new ways how to help it, which makes me happy because I want to keep our earth as nice as possible.
Yeah, we took the kids camping, or they took us camping. I'm not quite sure which way around it was. They had a great time. And if they enjoyed it half as much as I think we as leaders enjoyed it, then it was very successful. What was interesting, we had a group of children, cross-section, both age-wise and probably from background. They all grouped in together, pulled together, and worked as a team. They saw things they'd never seen before, some of them. They saw the stars, they saw the trees. They went looking for crabs, but didn't see any. They saw hogs. I think they were great kids, and I was very impressed by the general standard. Very impressed.
It was pretty good for the first time. I thought it was going to be scary, but it was fun.
We went on a walk on the road. We were looking for crab, and we went about 4 miles. We only heard a couple of crabs in the bush, so we turned around, came back, and went to bed in our camps.
I did learn some new things, like how to pitch a tent and how to roll up my sleeping bag. The camping experience was fun. We had a lot of fun cooking our food on a fire that was actually made, on a stove that was actually made with rocks.
Another activity the participants had was the organism ID, which introduced a number of organisms that they would ordinarily see but perhaps not be able to identify each day. And so at the end of the week, they would have been introduced to 20 new organisms.
In Organism ID, we learned the names of all the animals. We learned specific
ways we can tell them apart, like the markings on their backs, the scales they have, their outer features and whatnot.
Things that I did not know before that I've learned now, basically the different type of plants and like other marine life inside the sea that I might have saw but never could have named or depicted. Well, the swimming experience was actually a little frightening to me because I'm not known to be a very good swimmer, but the first day I tried with the snorkeling and, you know, I had help, and then the next day I went on to snorkeling a little deeper, but I had to take it slow because I didn't want to hurt myself or do something that I know that I'm not yet ready to do.
I love swimming. The best part was when we were at Pigeon Key, and we got to go scuba diving around the whole island. That was fun.
When I snorkeled at an ocean, it was really fun because, well, I got to see things that I've never seen before. And it wasn't only about what I saw, but just actually going that deep in the water was an experience for me. The snorkeling was really great. I loved all the reefs and everything. The fish were wonderful, and the reefs were really, really nice. It was enjoyable, and I really liked it.
I think that it'd be good for other people to learn about this and to come enjoy this experience.
This will be an experience I will share with my friends and family because it's actually should be spread and more kids should try and do this, and I want to encourage that.
So I will definitely tell my friends, and I will encourage people because it would benefit everybody, because in the long run it will only be affecting us if we keep damaging the environment.
I think this camp is very important for kids. One is to teach them about the environment. That's I see as a big problem for our country, is that a lot of locals or Bahamians do not know much about their environment and the importance of their environment, so it's good to start with the kids getting that information in them. And also, it's good also to have a camp like this to teach in terms of team building and leadership and, you know, initiative and stuff, activities like that, to get them into working as a team. And because the only way to run this country well is to run it as a team.
Oh, yeah. Lord. From the broken reefs, join your voices together. Yeah, all this thing.
It's Premiere Week at ZNS. You asked for new local programs, and we heard your call. So here's the lineup starting this fall. Catch Legends, The Untold Story on Mondays at 9 a.m. Also on Mondays starting at 8 p.m., watch the making of your favorite meal on Dishing It Up. The decisions are final and the cases are real. The ever so popular Justice with Judge Carol slides in at 2 p.m. on Tuesdays. You don't want to miss that. Later on Legal Tuesdays, there's the Legal Brief, where legal advice is given out by the country's top attorneys. Moving down to Thursdays at 9 a.m., The Drop, a video show with the best of the best local music artists. And on that trend, arts and entertainment will kick off your weekends on Fridays at 8 p.m. with Everything Entertainment. Time out, 4 p.m. on Sundays have never had it so good. Finally, a sports show to tune into. And wrapping things up on Sundays at 6 p.m. is Rhythm of Fate, a gospel video show to touch your spirit. Make sure to tune in this fall for a new experience in local programming only on ZNS.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Wait, you gotta say it.
National Report, PLPs mark day 1 of convention. No to BPL late fee. Testimony begins in Gibson case. And in sports, Crusaders advance to Senior Boys Championships. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Makush Lapinder, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. The Progressive Liberal Party in full convention mode as hundreds pour into the Bahama Cable Beach Resort to hear the governing party's agenda for the remainder of its term in office on this first night of its 55th annual meeting. On the floor for us this evening is our Jimenita Swain. Good evening, Jimenita.
Good evening, Makushla. As you know, the 55th National Convention of the Progressive Liberal Party is underway. We will have you covered as it relates to on the radio, on digital, and of course, our digital reporter, Devontae Hanna, is standing by, and he can tell you what you should expect. Good evening, Devontae.
The excitement is in the air, and just as exciting will be our digital coverage on all of our social media platforms. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, as well as YouTube. If you're not one of the lucky 550 members of this party or supporters of this party that will be on the inside of the New Providence Ballroom, you can catch all of the action on our social media pages, and of course a recap of it all on our website in the morning, and of course in the Bahamas Tonight. But for right now, we're enjoying what is happening, and we'll see exactly what transpires as the night goes on. We're sending it back to you, Jimenita. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks, Devontae. There you have it, guys. You will be covered on all angles. But, of course, joining me now is one of the persons that the delegates would have heard from earlier today, and he is none other than the Member of Parliament for Central and South Abaco, Mr. John Pinder. Good evening, Mr. Pinder, and welcome to the broadcast.
Good evening.
So I understand you brought with you 40 delegates tonight to show your support and enthusiasm. How excited are you for this particular convention?
I think me and all of the delegates from Central South Abaco that came here are super excited. It's such a great vibe here at this convention today.
And of course, there are a number of speakers that we will hear from tonight. But before we get into that, obviously the convention started much earlier today, and our Corporal Pyfram got a feel of what took place. Take a listen.
Convention taking place over the next 2 days is felt from the lobby at Bahamar to inside the convention hall.
Let's welcome the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and our Prime Leader, the Honorable Philip Davis. Let this convention be a testament to our solidarity, a reaffirmation of our collective resolve to lead with integrity, compassion, and unwavering dedication to the people who have placed their trust in us.
We have a plethora of young people running for positions. For example, 2 of our PYM members are running for national vice chair positions.
This is my very first national convention, and I'm honored to just stand on the shoulders of giants.
Nearly 2,000 delegates from all across the country are here for this convention. Party Chairman Fred Mitchell says there's a lot of excitement.
Okay, so this is a really exciting time for people across the country to gather to this convocation. So you got a chance to meet old friends, introduce to new people in the party, and they get to understand what the policies and programs are like.
The race for chairmanship is expected to draw a lot of attention. Mr. Mitchell faces a challenge from new generation candidate Robin Line.
The party needs a chair with a singular focus. The party needs a chair that is ready. The party needs a chair that is able to be the administrator of the organization, a chair that can bring together all the apparatuses, a chair that can appeal across demographics.
I'm running for chair again. I'm looking for votes and support, and I expect to do well.
Most people we spoke to didn't want to say who they were supporting in this race. Sonia Roberts, though, a voting delegate, is proudly and loudly Team Robin.
Well, listen to me. At this time now, we need some young blood in the party, okay? And this is a strong woman who is running, a woman of God. This woman that worked for the party. This woman worked for all, but almost 10 years, going from branch to branch, working for the party. That's why I'm supporting her.
There is no doubt that the race for chairmanship here at the PLP's convention will garner a lot of attention. But beyond that, the party says that it will spend a lot of time reflecting on its 70-year-long history, which it says is a very rich and productive one, as it continues to build on its progress and drive new change. At the Progressive Liberal Party's 55th National Convention at the Baha Mar Convention Center for the Bahamas tonight.
Obviously, a number of speakers are set to address delegates tonight. Persons in the person of Senator Quinton Lightbourne, Her Excellency Leslie of Miller Price. But bringing the official remarks, of course, will be the Member of Parliament for Exuma and Ragged Island Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper. So an exciting night to behold. Mr. Pinder, we want to thank you so much for joining us to give us a quick snapshot of what's going to happen tonight. But for now, we got to toss it back to you in studio. Makushla from the Progressive Liberal Party's National Convention. I'm Jimenita Swain. Back to you.
Well, thanks, Jimenita. And just a reminder that our broadcast of the PLP convention begins at 8 a.m. In other news this evening, it's a no for that Bahamas Power and Light late fee. That, of course, contrary to reports in a local daily. BPL today confirming in a release that during his remarks to the Bahamas Institute for Chartered Accountants annual conference, CEO Siobhan Cambridge shared numerous strategies to help the power giant address its considerable arrears and at the same time improve the quality of customer service. Well, Cambridge at the time disclosed that a late fee was discussed as a viable option to prompt timely payments, as it is inscribed in BPL's Consumer Protection Plan and received regulatory approval more than 4 years ago. However, it was never implemented. BPL maintains for clarity that talk of a late fee was a discussion point, not an immediate consideration. Any proposal for a late fee, though, has many BPL customers bewildered.
I don't know what they want people to do. It ain't fair.
I can't pay what the bill I get now. I can't pay, and to put a $5 on that, I just can't pay it.
As it is, first and foremost, they have the fee is so high that you can barely pay them, and there's a service they're taxing when they're not properly giving you the service. But they want to charge you for a late fee. Let's charge them or get a discount for the disservice first and foremost.
A lot of times I get the impression that our ministers, our politicians, the heads of our various corporations, they are somehow misguided into believing that Bahamians don't listen to the news, we don't follow Bloomberg, we don't watch oil prices decreasing all around the world and our prices going up. We see these things. So it's a slap in the face again. They have no respect for the consumer.
Now, as we just mentioned, BPL maintains the talk of a late fee was a discussion point, not an immediate consideration. In news from Parliament, Senators Wednesday opened a debate on the Consumer Protection Bill, proposed legislation that recently sailed through the House of Assembly. The overall objective to ensure consumers receive value for money and, by extension, promote good business practices. The bill, which seeks to repeal the 2006 Act, outlines several provisions, including complaints and investigations in the case of consumers inside and outside the Bahamas, and this includes those unable to read or write. According to Leader of Government Business in the Senate, the Honorable Michael Alcides, since last year, complaints to the Consumer Protection Commission have nearly tripled.
In 2022, 52 complaints were made to the Commission, and as this year, as at the 31st of October 2023, 140 complaints have been made to the Consumer Protection Commission, with 27 complaints made in October alone.
Still to come, jitney drivers' fare hike appeal. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you're trying to accomplish. We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
The new KFC nuggets have arrived. That unlike the no-gets, ours are handmade using 100% white meat. Unlike the no-gets, at KFC, we hand bread every day to achieve the perfect flavor. After you try our delicious and crispy nuggets in the original recipe, you'll never settle for less. KFC, the real nuggets. It's finger-licking good.
ISL Bahamas is a software development company. We provide payroll software and services for over 500 companies. Using ISL Payroll, our clients are able to produce accurate and timely national insurance contribution statements for posting to their NIB accounts. The beauty in NIB's employer self-service portal is that our clients have the power to upload these statements directly into NIB's system, eliminating the manual process which results in delay in posting to our client's account. We are working hand in hand with NIB to ensure that our clients are registered for the ESS portal and know how to use it. I look forward to further technology, innovation, and progress from NIB. You should sign up today at ess@nib-bahamas.com.
After months of legal wrangling, testimony began today in the Adrian Gibson corruption trial. Vern Carey tells us that after the lead prosecutor gave her opening statements, the first witness to take the stand was an executive at the Water and Sewage Corporation.
The first witness to take the stand in the Adrian Gibson corruption trial, Executive Chairman of the Water and Sewage Corporation, Sylvanus Petty. He testified that back in April of 2022, he ordered an audit report of what was going on at the corporation, and once it was completed, he handed it over to Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis and the then Minister of Works, Alfred Sayers. Under cross-examination, defense attorney Damian Gomez Casey asked Petty, among other things, if he is aware of a number of methods of payments of tenders at the corporation, and if there are different levels of approval given to different areas of money paid out from the corporation. The executive chairman explained that anything up to $5,000 is approved by the deputy general manager, anything under $50,000, and the decision has to be unanimous, while the minister has to approve anything that is $250,000. When asked if he discourages the granting of contracts to friends or relatives of members of the board, Petty said no, explaining that we live in the Bahamas and everybody is family, prompting Gomez to ask Petty if nepotism is not something he frowns on in his administration. The King's Counsel also wanted to know if the same applies to political allies, to which the executive chairman explained that as long as the company can do the work, it's okay with him. Gomez then asked Petty if he had ever voted for a contract for his son, daughter, or close family member, and he mentioned Petty's daughter's name and the name of a company, noting that she had a $26,000 contract. But Petty explained that his daughter's company had never come before the board, as it was a minor contract and he and the board members do not get involved in those matters. Under cross-examination, attorney Raphael Moxie, who is representing Peaches Farquharson, asked Petty if he had any knowledge that Farquharson conspired with anyone to defraud the Water and Sewage Corporation or defrauded the corporation, to which Petty said no, and that he did not know who Farquharson is. Under re-examination, prosecutors asked Petty if a policy exists at the corporation which requires that interest be declared at the board level, and the executive said yes, it has to be declared at an open board meeting and it has to be in writing. Other members of the defense team, including Maria DeSille Casey, Ian Cargill, and Christina Golanos, also fielded questions to Petty, while jurors also sought clarity on some of his testimony. Now, jurors will hear from a long list of witnesses in this case, including former Works Minister Desmond Bannister. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
The United Public Transportation Company continues to agitate the government to grant jitney owners permission for a fare increase for years. That fee has been at $1.50. The government proposes a 25-cent hike, but after consultations with stakeholders beginning the first quarter of 2024, franchise holders, though, seek a 75-cent increase to $2. Led by President Harrison Moxie, they assembled outside the National Stadium to voice their displeasure.
We had proposed a $2 increase that we think that we are well deserving of based on the circumstances and the cost of living in the country, and we feel that we are not getting our just due. And here it is, we are battling for 25 cents, and we have to have public meetings for us to even get that with delay. What you're really saying to us as an industry is, I'll give you 25 cents if you behave. And we are not accepting that, and we feel that is insulting to us as an organization. It's $1.25 for adults, it's 75 cents for senior citizens, it's $1 for school students out of uniform, and that would be 50 cents for the primary, the lower division in the schools.
What are you prepared to do next?
Well, that depends on what comes out from our next step, will depend on the government's response to us. You know, but we are not prepared to just sit idly by and wait for them to get to us any longer.
Marcellus Hall joins us in studio with a check on what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Coming up in sports for tonight, boy, they got underway with playoffs in the private school softball championships. Details just ahead in sports.
The PLP convention affords us the opportunity to come together, to build on the progress and drive the change that this Davis-Cooper administration has started since September 2021. Your government's initiatives has empowered the lives of countless Bahamians. Our economy is no longer in free fall, but recovering. Unprecedented numbers of tourists are arriving on our shores, and lest we forget, we protected workers, signed multiple industrial agreements, and increased minimum wage, expanded opportunities within the armed forces, and of course, expanded home ownership. I am extremely proud that the Prime Minister has afforded me the responsibility of ensuring that our parks and beaches are ready to receive local and visitors alike, and afford Bahamians the opportunity to display their entrepreneurial talents. Mount Moriah, you have given me the ultimate opportunity to demonstrate my heart for you, the people of Mount Moriah. From small home repairs, removing and replacing water pipes, restoration of parks, entrepreneurial opportunities, reduction of unemployment, and the future development of a world-class community center. The PLP has always symbolized dignity and respect for our fellow man. Let's stay together. PLP, all the way. I'm Mikhail Barnaby, and I approve this message. Now let's get back to work.
We build the gym, you build the body.
You can find it all at Builders Mall. From cement, lumber, block, plumbing, and electrical, to paint, lights, vanities, and tiles. Not to mention all the tools you could possibly need to get the job done. Say if you're starting a major project, adding the finishing touches, or just doing some repair or rental work around the house. FYP, the Paint Center, and Tile King can help. Stop by or call 601-8453. Located 69 Wolf Road, Nassau. You can find it all at Builders Mall. Building, painting, and tiling, the Bahamas.
The countdown's on for the relaunch of Bahamas Air's direct flight from Raleigh to Freeport with connections into Nassau. Officials are on a promotional campaign starting at St. Augustine's University in North Carolina, engaging Bahamian students and sharing insights from stakeholders about the exciting return of this venture. Raven Davis has the story.
With only days remaining until the relaunch of Bahamas Air's direct flight from Raleigh to Freeport, officials are actively on the ground promoting the attractions of Grand Bahama Island. Their first stop here at St. Augustine's University.
The important thing about us doing this flight into Grand Bahama is to inject some more tours into the area. We were looking at other destinations, Raleigh being one of those destinations that we first looked at. There's one or two others on the table that we're looking at to probably launch early next year.
The way you look at this from the tourism perspective is that the more visitors we can, of course, get into the island itself, the greater economic turnaround and visitor spend. Just, the numbers just add up. We've also hired a company that will be marketing and assisting to market this flight out of Raleigh directly.
The Grand Lucayan Resort is not only anticipating a boost in its operations, but also envisions a ripple effect, benefiting everyone from housekeeping staff to taxi drivers.
So we're looking at exciting times for the property as we continue to open up various outlets on the property. What we shared with them is once they return home from the various discipline, one of the things that we mentioned to them also was to partner with their groups, with their fraternities, with their sororities, with their people in the area, to let them know about the flight and to let them know about Grand Lucayan and what we have to offer.
Many of the students also expressing excitement about the flight's return and the promotional offers, pledging to be exemplary ambassadors for the Bahamas.
As you know, when traveling, we have stops, and there's delays. So having a direct flight means a lot. So we could just go straight home. It's very tedious having to stop in another country.
In my chapter, we have a lot of brothers from Freeport and Nassau, so now that they know the direct flight out and I can share this information with them, hopefully we could get a conference on Freeport or in Nassau and connect with the other brothers on those islands.
It really means a lot that we have now a straight flight home instead of going through different ports. We could reach out to other students on campus to make it bigger so everybody can be well aware of what they have going on now.
Bahamas Air, having reassessed its approach due to an initial underwhelming response last year, has adjusted its flight schedule. The renewed service will now be available on Thursdays and Sundays from November to May 2024, signaling a fresh opportunity for travelers between Raleigh, Durham, and Freeport, also with connections into Nassau. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Raven Davis.
Well, stay with us. There's more news after this break.
This holiday season will be great, and it all starts with a trip to Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Rainbow corned beef, 12-ounce, $2.39. Par Excellence parboiled rice, 5 pounds, $4.49. Best Value whole kernel corn, 15-ounce, 99 cents. Sunny Delight smooth or tiny, 64-ounce, 2 for $5. Chicken leg quarters, 10-pound bag, 99 cents per pound. Shop the specials this holiday season at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Bahamas Welding and Fire is your full-service retail store for a variety of items, including a large selection of appliances. When you walk in the door, we'll be there to guide and assist you with your needs. We carry top-of-the-line outdoor barbecue grills, air conditioners, refrigerators, stoves, generators, industrial hardware, and garden supplies with a wide assortment of tools and accessories. BWF is the leading supplier of welding and cutting safety supplies. If you are looking for a competitive price and products with knowledgeable staff, look no further. Bahamas Welding and Fire is the best choice for the best prices in town. Located number 13 Wilton Street. Open Monday through Saturday. BWF, we're more than just our name. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Here at Solomon's, we don't just believe in great brands. We believe in creating unforgettable memories and celebrating everyday living with you and your family. Every aisle is filled with all you need. A great value with a variety and a selection of all your favorite groceries and products. Saving you time and keeping you on a budget. Great food changes everything. Shop at your local Solomon's for food, for family, for you.
You asked for it, you've got it. A new plant nursery, fully loaded with everything you need. And extended hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
At Harvey's Tech Bargains, West Mall Plaza, find the best deals on smart TVs, laptops, game consoles, tablets, cell phones, cell phone accessories, gift cards, and so much more. Open Monday through Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m.
For designer shoes, sandals, handbags, and accessories, visit Steppin' Out, top of the hill, Mackey Street, or WhatsApp 727-9098. Shipping available throughout the family of islands. Steppin' Out when you want to put your best foot forward.
Another young woman seeks to end her life, this time in Grand Bahama. Police there confirmed that the 22-year-old is being closely monitored in hospital after attempting to commit suicide while at a local college shortly before 2 Wednesday afternoon. Authorities learned the female student ingested a quantity of over-the-counter medication. The matter's under active investigation. This incident comes just after police reported that a 20-year-old woman of Eastern New Providence ingested over-the-counter medication in an attempt to take her life this past Monday afternoon. Well, time now for the poll of the week, and this week we're asking, should jitney drivers be granted a 25-cent increase in bus fare? You can chime in on our social media handles.
In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
Mario thought he could have his cake and eat it too. He almost found out the hard way that if you don't insure your home for the full replacement value, when it comes time to make a claim, you won't get the full payout. It's called the condition of average. If your $200,000 home is destroyed by a hurricane, but you only insured it for $100,000, half the value, you'll only get half of that $100,000 payout. Actually, less than that, because there's also a deductible, which will be deducted from your payout. Check your home insurance policy for the condition of average clause and ask your insurance agent or broker how condition of average would affect you. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas, protecting the interests of policyholders.
It's the
a different kind of Christmas, but everything is here to bring a smile upon your face. That's what the season brings. See, Christmas time is the time for your family and friends. Come and shop with us and find everything that you need. Deck out your homes with all we have in store, bringing joy and so much more. And shop Smarty, and shop Smart, and shop Smart. Oh, everything is here at Shop Smart, and shop Smart, and shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Super S Motor Oil products now available at KMW Battery and Tires, Express Food Mart, Stop and Shop, and Chappie's Gas Station, 8 Mile Rock.
It's begin to feel a lot like Christmas. Woo!
It's only October.
Christmas isn't as far as you think. If you start your layaway now, you'll get it right on time.
Make layaway work for you. 50% down on furniture and bedding. Any amount down on mattresses. 6 weeks to pay it off. No interest. Pay whatever you want, whenever you want.
Don't get caught on Christmas Day. Come to Island Bedding and lay it away.
When you order a large Pizza Hut specialty pizza, you unlock a delicious deal. For a limited time, you can add a small one-topping pizza for just $2 more. Hawaiian, Supreme, barbecue chicken, meat lovers, and more flavors. And for just $2, you can double the deliciousness. But hurry, this mouth-watering twice as nice deal won't last forever. Call Pizza Hut Freeport at 352-9191 today.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honourable Chester Cooper, to headline the latest installment of the Bahamas Business Outlook series, this one in Long Island, November 16th. Other speakers include Bahamas Power and Light's Chief Operations Officer, Tony Seymour, Principal of Azul Destinations, Thomas Dean, and Deputy Director of Tourism and Director of Aviation, Dr. Kenneth Romer. The Long Island Business Outlook theme is in keeping with the celebration of the country's 50th anniversary, Forward, Upward, Onward, Together. The one-day seminar takes place at the Clarence Town Community Center. Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. We have mostly cloudy skies again this evening. Temperature at 80 degrees, the relative humidity at 77%, easterly winds at 11 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,016.3 millibars. That's 30.03 inches. And your temperatures around the Family Valleys this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We protected you. 75 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Grand Key and Abaco, Marsh, Abaco at 76 degrees. The Berry Islands, 80. Alistown, Bimini, 82 degrees. In Harbor Island, 80 degrees as well. Black Point, Exuma, 79 degrees, 80 degrees in Fresh Creek, Central Andros. As we take you a little further south, Kemps Bay, South Andros at 81. 81 also in Black Point, Exuma. Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key, 78 degrees. Georgetown, Exuma, 82. 82s in Rygat Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Maguana, 80. Acklands, 80. Machitan, Nago, 83. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 82 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter in the Northwestern Islands tonight through Saturday. This is what the winds are going to look like East to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights 2 to 4 feet. A low tide will take place at 11:09 tonight. Another low tide at 11:42 tomorrow morning. Now for the central and southeastern islands tonight through Saturday, easterly winds 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights 3 to 6 feet. So the caution flags will remain in place for the central and southeastern islands right into Saturday. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Want to have your voice heard? Send your letters to the editor to digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. Share your thoughts on current events or positive stories within your community. That's digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. We want to hear from you.
You have the ability to create your own success story, and the journey starts right now. Believe in yourself, set goals, work hard, and never stop building better and aiming higher. You are the heroes of your own story, and the world is waiting to see the amazing things you will achieve.
Those motivating sentiments coming from Queens College Deputy Head Boy Shirkaden Wells during his delivery of the keynote address at a special ceremony dubbed Building Better, Aiming Higher to honor students at the Sybil Strachan Primary School. Wells, who attained 14 A's and 1 B after sitting his BGCSE examinations in grade 11 last school year, gave students advice on how to build better and aim higher.
First, set your goals. Like in a video game, you need to set goals for yourself. These are your own missions. They could be small goals like getting better grades in math, making a new friend, or learning to ride your bike without training wheels. They could also be big goals like being a great artist, writing a book, or even being the kindest person you know. Secondly, believe in yourself. You are capable of amazing things. Believe in yourself and your abilities. Even if something seems hard at first, remember that practice and determination can help you improve and get better.
Students from grades 2 to 5 were awarded certificates for making the honor roll, senior mistresses Sapphire List, vice principal's Emerald List, and the principal's Diamond List during the 2022-2023 summer term.
The most important thing in life is family, and whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Hey, Mom, can you look after Kaylee?
Sorry, I'll be out for a while dealing with my home and car insurance.
What? You know there's a newer way, right?
A new way?
Where have you been? Look, go to newerinsurance.com, log in, get your quote, buy your insurance, done. You can even use it to manage your claim.
Oh? By the way, it's not newer. It's N-U-A. Where's she been?
Do it anyway with NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers.
Remember when we were young and only just begun, counting colors in the sun and naming everyone. There's a rainbow in you, and all the colors flying.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
ZNS Total Sports brought to you by Sans Beer, who reminds you to recycle your beer bottles for cash in Nassau, Grand Bahama, and now Abaco and Eleuthera. Well, welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. BISS Sudden Death Softball Playoffs getting underway yesterday at the Freedom Farm Fields. 2 versus 3 matchups looking to advance to the championships. Charles Fisher has the story.
Fellas, let's start off with the junior girls in this game. They should have put a time limit on it. St. Anne's taking on the Big Red Machine of Sac in the 2-3 matchup day. 8 runs by St. Anne's in the first inning. Sac responded with 16. First inning took close to an hour and a half to finish. Let's speed it up. In the end, it was Sac sending St. Anne's home with a 31-11 win. Moving on to the junior boys, Nassau Christian taking on St. Anne's. Crusaders jumping out to a 10-zip lead into the second inning. In the bottom of the second, umpire halting the game to deal with Blue Waves coach who had been ejected earlier and refused to leave the park and was still verbal. As a result, game call and Crusaders march on.
A couple of close calls didn't go our head coach's way. An argument ensued with the umpire. He ended up getting thrown out of the game. Because he stayed in the park and continued to argue with the umpire, the umpire awarded the game to Nassau Christian Schools.
The team played well. I told them to just go out there and give it their all because this was the only team we were really wanted to play against, and we came out and performed to the best of our abilities, and I'm really proud of them. The boys really wanted to continue the game, and it's not fair, but if people can't keep their cool, then we just have to take whatever we get. But right now we're in the championships until further notice, and we're ready to play whoever comes against us.
You know, unfortunately, it wasn't the result that we wanted, but I told them must say, give it their all and leave it all out here. I have no problem with it. You know, obviously they fell short of the mark, and but you know, I hope they learn a valuable lesson. Next year we'll be back bigger and better.
Senior girls and the Comets of Queens College versus the Giants of St. John's. A late start due to the junior girls going extra time. No worry at all for the Comets as they do fly better at night, cruising to a 11-1 win.
We performed very well in the field. The pitching was great, the fielding was great, the batting. We could use some work on the batting, but overall we played a very good game, and we'll play an even better game in the championships.
We had a very good game today. I feel like we came into this game ready, and we did what we needed to do. Yeah.
Senior boys, Nassau Christian and Kingsway playing late into the evening as well. The Saints jumping out to a 4-zip lead on the Crusaders after an inning, but that was not enough runs to hold Nassau Christian at bay as they go on to advance to the championship with a 13-8 win and avenging their only loss on the season and looking to repeat as BAIS Senior Boys champs.
At the beginning, we really didn't have a good start at all. We just keep popping the ball up and we just didn't get what we wanted to get, so we just had to do what we had to do. At the beginning, I learned that we can't just send the ball straight there because the ball comes with speed, so all I do is hit the ball out and the ball gone.
It's surprised that we got the W. Yeah, they're a good team. It was a very competitive match, I must say. You know, no hatred towards them, but then guess what? I didn't realize that we are the top team now.
We made some mental errors and they was capitalizing on runs, but we come together as a team and we talk about it, and we still have 1 or 2 mental errors, but hey, the guys learn from it and we're coming back.
Now the other half of the sudden death playoffs, they were played today and still going on. We will have those results and highlights on Friday. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
And Buddy Hield and the Indiana Pacers back on the floor last night against the Utah Jazz. Pacers playing well to start the season. They put 6 plays in double figures as they improved to 5-3 on the air, a 134-118 win. Buddy, one of the 6 plays in double digits, scored 10 points, 3 rebounds. Pacers right back at it again tonight. They take on the Milwaukee Bucks. And that's your look at sports for you here on this Thursday. Don't go anywhere. We have that Thursday weather. That is just ahead. Total Sports brought to you by Sans Beer, who reminds you to recycle your beer bottles for cash in Nassau, Grand Bahama, and now Abaco and Eleuthera.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Have you ever purchased a defective item and was denied an exchange or cash refund?
Contact the Consumer Protection Commission at 393-779-5 through 8 or our 24-hour complaints hotline at 357-7898 and let us help your voice be heard.
Hey, get up, stand up. Stand up for your right.
You've got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
With 3 or more vehicles looking for the perfect fueling solution? Well, look no further.
I can go to any Rubis service station and get fast and easy service without any form of payment.
I can top up my fuel account and generate reports anytime online.
We at Wildflowers enjoy significant savings from fraud reduction. The Rubis system provides optimum security and peace of mind.
Email bahamashales@rubis-bahamas.com to sign up now.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A brand that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Hi, Phil Swift here for the Flex Seal family of flood protection products. Our flood protection products are specifically designed to work together in order to create multiple layers of super strong protection. All these windows, doors, seams, and openings have all been sealed up tight. Now there's a new way to protect your home or business from damaging floodwaters. Get the removable Flex Seal family of flood protection products.
Hello, everyone. This is Tony Williams back with a special promotion from BahamasAir.com and GoGo Florida. The $100 deposit is back, but it's only on your debit card. So whether you're renting that sedan, SUV, or spacious minivan for group or family trips, keep your cash in your pocket. Only Dollar Thrifty is making it convenient for you. Your $100 deposit held on your debit card. Available at Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, and Orlando. Book early and save your 8-passenger minivan for your holiday shopping spree.
With the help of our authorized financial institutions, or AFIs, using sand dollars is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Step 1. Identify your preferred AFI by browsing their websites or contacting them directly. Step 2. Download the free mobile application from Google Play or the Apple Store and then register for a sand dollar account. Step 3. Load money onto your mobile app and begin sending and receiving sand dollars or purchasing and selling goods and services.
We are pleased to be
your central bank approved
digital wallet providers.
It does not matter which of us you choose. You can pay for goods and services wherever Sand Dollar is accepted.
We are all in this together.
Visit sanddollar.bs for more information.
Samantha's always on point. She doesn't miss a thing. When she signs up for any insurance policy, she reads all the fine print. She knows what's covered, what's not covered, and she's aware of her deductibles. When it comes to insurance, it pays to know your policy. Review every insurance policy so you know what you're covered for. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas.
First we plan,
Then we innovate, then we build. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we are committed to quality, to safety, and to service. We know that the road you take is just as important as your final destination. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, it is our job to make sure the road and the ride are as smooth as possible. From striping roads to building them, we are the right choice, the trusted choice, the only choice to help you build your tomorrow.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we have 21 days remaining in the tropical cyclone season, and but the GFS mold is indicating that something could be brewing within the next 9 days, and it could possibly affect parts of the Bahamas. So we will continue to monitor and see if that materializes, and if it does, we will walk you safely through the process. But until then, high pressure remains in control of our weather, so we should have some relatively beautiful weather, save for some moderate breezes in the central and southeastern parts of the country for the next couple of days. Tonight we're looking at breezy in the evening, otherwise partly cloudy and warm with a low temperature just around 77 degrees. Tomorrow partly sunny and quite pleasant, 85 degrees for your high. Extended weather forecast, pleasant weather will continue right through the weekend. On Monday we'll see a little bit of showers work its way into our forecast, but that will become more scattered as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with some thunderstorms in the mix as well. And some of those showers could be heavy at times. Temperature-wise, not bad at all. We're going to keep you right there in the mid-80s during the daytime and get even into the low 80s as we head into the middle part of the week. Those nighttime temperatures in a comfortable setting at about 75 degrees. Makisha?
Well, thanks, Basil, and that does it for the Bahamas tonight. We now go to the Bahama Convention Center for live coverage of the Progressive Liberal Party's 55th National Convention. Good night.
After 25 years, a new leader emerged to take the PLP into the